How are you guys doing? Today is Sunday, January 30th, 2022. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to review the Elite matchups and performances from yesterday, Saturday, January 29th, 2022. Just to take a quick step back and take a look at where we are in the calendar year, I'm going to start with college basketball. Of course, I'm going to start with collegiate sports. There were a lot of college basketball games from yesterday, so I'm going to start with the top-ranked team in the nation as the Auburn Tigers hosted the unranked Oklahoma Sooners. The top-ranked Tigers would beat Oklahoma 86-68 in the SEC Big 12 Challenge. They won this matchup by 18 after outscoring the Sooners by 12 in the first half and 6 in the second. On the winning end of this matchup, the hometown Auburn Tigers were led in scoring by their starting forward, Jabari Smith, their freshman out of Georgia. He would go on to finish with 23 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 steals, all in 31 minutes. He shot 6 for 14 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, and 9 for 10 from the foul line. Their starting center, Walker Kessler, finished with 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 blocks in 31 minutes. He shot 9 for 11 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, and he made his only free throw attempt on the night. With this win, the top-ranked Auburn Tigers are now 20-1. With this loss, Oklahoma is now 13-8 on the season. Taking a look at what went down with the second-ranked team in the nation, the Gonzaga Bulldogs hosted the unranked Portland Pilots. Gonzaga would beat Portland 104-72. Gonzaga would win this matchup they won this matchup by 32 after they outscored Portland by 20 in the first half and by 12 in the second. The second-ranked Bulldogs were led in scoring by their starting guard, Andrew Nembhard out of Ontario. Nembhard finished with 22 points in 31 minutes. He shot 5 for 11 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3, and a perfect 8 for 8 from the foul line. With this win, the second-ranked Gonzaga Bulldogs they're 17-2. They are 6-0 in the West Coast Conference. They have the best record. They're the only team that's still undefeated in their conference. With this loss, unranked Portland is now 11-10. They are 2-4 in the West Coast Conference. Taking a look now at what's going on with the third-ranked team in the nation, the Arizona Wildcats hosted the unranked Arizona State Sun Devils. Arizona beat Arizona State 67-56. They won this matchup by 11 after outscoring Arizona State by 11 in the second half. On the winning end of this matchup, the third-ranked Wildcats were led in scoring by their starting guard, Benedict Mathurin. Mathurin would go on to finish with 14 points in 37 minutes. He shot 5 for 16 from the field and 4 for 5 from the foul line. Their center off the bench, Umar Ballo out of Mali, would finish with 14 points and 5 rebounds in 20 minutes. He shot 4 for 6 from the field and 6 for 9 from the foul line. With this win, the Arizona Wildcats are now 7-1. They are now 17-2 on the season. They are 7-1 in the Pac-12. They and UCLA are the two one-loss teams in the division. However, UCLA has one more win than them. On the losing end of this matchup, the Arizona State Sun Devils are now 6-12. They are now 2-6 in the Pac-12. Taking a look at what's going on with the fourth-ranked team in the nation, the defending champs Baylor Bears will go off to face off against the unranked Alabama Crimson Tide in Alabama for the SEC Big 12 Challenge. Alabama would beat Baylor 87-78, and they would upset Baylor in front of their home fans. They won this game by 9 after outscoring Baylor by 5 in the second half. On the losing end of this matchup, the fourth-ranked Baylor Bears were led in scoring by their forward off the bench, Jeremy Sochan out of England. He went on to finish with 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 steals in 32 minutes. He shot 6 for 9 from the field and 4 for 6 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the unranked Alabama Crimson Tide were led in scoring by their starting guard, Javon Quinterly. He finished with 20 points, 5 assists, and 2 steals in 33 minutes. He shot 6 for 10 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, and a perfect 5 for 5 from the foul line. With this win, the unranked Alabama Crimson Tide are now 14-7 on the season. They are now 10-1 at home. With this loss, the fourth-ranked Baylor Bears are now 18-3 as they picked up their very first loss on the road. Taking a look now what's going on with the fifth-ranked team in the nation, the Kansas Jayhawks hosted the 12th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats. Kentucky would beat Kansas 80-62 in Allen Fieldhouse. They won this matchup by 18 after outscoring Kansas by 20 in the first half. On the losing end of this matchup, the hometown fifth-ranked Kansas Jayhawks were led in scoring by their starting guard Christian Brown and their starting guard Ochai Agbaji. Brown finished with 13 points and 5 rebounds in 32 minutes. He shot 5 for 11 from the field and a perfect 2 for 2 from the foul line. Agbaji finished with 13 points in 36 minutes. He shot 4 for 14 from the field and 3 for 4 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the 12th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats were led in scoring by their starting forward, Keon Brooks Jr. Their starting junior out of Fort Wayne, Illinois, finished with 27 points and 8 rebounds in 29 minutes. He shot 9 for 16 from the field and 9 for 10 from the foul line. And also their starting forward, Oscar Tshiebwe, finished with 17 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 steals in 30 minutes. He shot 8 for 13 from the field, and he made his only free throw attempt on the night. With this win, the 12th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats are 17-4. With this loss, the 5th-ranked Kansas Jayhawks are now 17-3 on the year. Taking a look at what's going on with the 7th-ranked team in the nation, the two teams that are tied, going on to the first one in the American Conference. The Houston Cougars went to Florida to face off against the unranked UCF Knights. Houston won this game 63-49. They won it by 14 after outscoring UCF by 11 in the first half. On the winning end of this matchup, the 7th-ranked Houston Cougars were led in scoring by their starting guard, Kyler Edwards, out of Arlington, Texas. He finished with 17 points and 7 rebounds in 39 minutes. He shot 4 for 12 from the field, as he made all of his makes were from 3. He was 4 for 11 from 3 and a perfect 5 for 5 from the foul line. With this win, the 7th-ranked Houston Cougars are 18-2. They are 7-0 in the American Athletic Conference, the AAC. They are the only team that's still undefeated in conference play. With this loss, the unranked UCF Knights are 12-7. They are 4-5 in the AAC. Taking a look at the other 7th-ranked team in the nation, the UCLA Bruins hosted the unranked Stanford Cardinal. UCLA would end up beating Stanford 66-43. They won this matchup by 23 after outscoring Stanford by 19 in the first half. On the winning end of this matchup, the 7th-ranked UCLA Bruins were led in scoring by their starting guard, Jules Bernard. Bernard finished with 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 steals in 36 minutes. He shot 5 for 15 from the field and 5 for 6 from the foul line. With this win, the 7th-ranked UCLA Bruins are now 16-2. They are now 8-1 in the Pac-12. They are currently one of 2 teams that have one loss in the Pac-12, and because they have one more win than the Wildcats, they technically have the best record in the Pac-12. With this loss, the unranked Stanford Cardinal are now 12-7. They are now 5-4 in the Pac-12. Taking a look now at what's going on with the 9th-ranked team in the nation, my alma mater, the Duke Blue Devils, would face off against the unranked Louisville Cardinals in Kentucky. Duke would beat Louisville 74-65. They won this matchup by 9 after outscoring Louisville by 5 in the first half. On the winning end of this matchup, the 9th-ranked Duke Blue Devils were led in scoring by their starting forward, A.J. Griffin. Griffin finished with 22 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals in 34 minutes. He shot 8 for 13 from the field, a perfect 5 for 5 from 3, and he made one of his 3 foul attempts of the night. With this win, the 9th-ranked Duke Blue Devils are 17-3. They are 7-2 in the ACC. They are one of 3 teams in the ACC that have 2 losses in conference play, as Notre Dame and Miami are the other 2, but because they have 1 less win than Miami, they are tied with Notre Dame for the 2nd best record in the ACC. With this loss, the unranked Louisville Cardinals are 11-10. They are now 5-6 in the ACC. Taking a look at what's going on with the 10th-ranked team in the nation, the Michigan State Spartans faced off against their in-state rival, the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan State would beat Michigan 83-67. They won this matchup by 16 after outscoring Michigan by 12 in the second half. On the winning end of this matchup, the hometown Spartans were led in scoring by their starting guard, Max Christie. Christie, their starting freshman out of Illinois, would go on to finish with 16 points in 35 minutes. He shot 5 for 8 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3, and a perfect 3 for 3 from the foul line. With this win, the 10th-ranked Michigan State Spartans are now 16-4. They are now 7-2 in the Big Ten. They are one of 3 two-loss teams in the Big Ten. because Wisconsin and Illinois have one more win. They have the third best record in the Big Ten. With this loss, the Michigan Wolverines are now 10-8. They are now 4-4 in the Big Ten. Taking a look at what went down with the 13th ranked team in the nation, the Texas Tech Red Raiders hosted the unranked Mississippi State Bulldogs in the SEC Big 12 Challenge. Texas Tech would beat Mississippi State 76-50. They won this matchup by 26 after beating Mississippi State, or after outscoring Mississippi State by 15 in the first half and by 11 in the second half. On the winning end of this matchup, the 13th ranked Red Raiders were led in scoring by their starting guard, Adonis Arms. Their starting senior out of Milwaukee will go on to finish with 16 points, 7 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks in 28 minutes. He shot 6 for 9 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3, and 1 for 2 from the foul line. With this win, the 13th ranked Texas Tech Red Raiders are now 16-5. They are undefeated. They are 13-0 at home on the season. With this loss, the unranked Mississippi State Bulldogs are now 13-7 as they have officially lost all of their games on the road so far. Taking a look now at what's going on with the 14th ranked team in the nation, the Villanova Wildcats hosted the unranked St. John's Red Storm. Villanova won this game 73-62. They won this matchup by 11 after outscoring St. John's by 14 in the first half. The 14th ranked Wildcats on the winning end were led in scoring by their starting guard, Colin Gillespie. He finished with 17 points in 32 minutes. He shot 5 for 7 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3, and he shot 4 for 5 from the foul line. With this win, the 14th ranked Villanova Wildcats finished with a 16-5 record. Right now, they're 16-5 right now. They are 9-2 in the Big East. They have the second best record in the conference. With this loss, the unranked St. John's Red Storm are now 11-8. They are now 3-5 in the Big East. Taking a look at what is going down with the 15th ranked team in the nation, the USC Trojans hosted the unranked Cal Golden Bears. The Trojans would win this matchup 79-72. They won this matchup by 7 after outscoring Cal by 6 in the first half. On the winning end of this matchup, the 15th ranked USC Trojans were led in scoring by their starting forward, Isaiah Mobley. He finished with 24 points and 6 rebounds in 34 minutes. He shot 9 for 21 from the field and 5 for 6 from the foul line. Their starting guard, Boogie Ellis, finished with 21 points in 37 minutes. He shot 8 for 10 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3, and a perfect 3 for 3 from the foul line. With this win, the 15th ranked USC Trojans are now 8-3. In conference play, as they are 18-3 on the season. They have the third best record in the Pac-12. With this loss, the unranked Cal Golden Bears are now 9-12. They are 2-8 in the Pac-12 right now. Taking a look at what went down in Austin, the Texas Longhorns hosted the 18th ranked Tennessee Volunteers, and Tennessee would end up losing. They got upset by Texas. Texas won this SEC Big 12 Challenge 52-51. They won this matchup by 1 after outscoring Tennessee by 2 in the first half. On the losing end of this matchup, the 18th ranked Tennessee Volunteers were led in scoring by their guard off the bench, Zakai Zeigler out of Long Island. Their 5'9" freshman finished with 12 points in 17 minutes. He shot 4 for 9 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, and he shot a perfect 2 for 2 from the foul line. With this win on the winning end, the Texas Longhorns were led in scoring by their starting guard, Courtney Ramey out of St. Louis. He went on to finish with 18 points in 35 minutes. He shot 6 for 10 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3, and he shot 2 for 5 from the foul line. With this win, the Texas Longhorns are now 16-5. They are 13-1 at home as they are still unranked. With this loss, the 18th ranked Tennessee Volunteers are now 14-6 on the year. Taking a look at what went down with the 19th ranked team in the nation, the LSU Tigers would face off against the unranked TCU Horned Frogs as TCU won this matchup 77-68 to upset LSU in the SEC Big 12 Challenge. TCU won this matchup by 9 after outscoring LSU by 9 in the first half. On the losing end, the 19th ranked Tigers were led in scoring by their starting forward, Tari Eason. Their sophomore out of LA would finish with 16 points and 3 steals in 26 minutes. He shot 7 for 12 from the field and 2 for 3 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the unranked TCU Horned Frogs were led in scoring by their starting forward, Chuck O'Bannon Jr. out of Las Vegas. He finished with 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals in 26 minutes. He shot 6 for 9 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3, and a perfect 4 for 4 from the foul line. Their starting guard, Mike Miles, finished with 19 points as well, and as well as 8 rebounds and 6 assists in 36 minutes. He shot 6 for 14 from the field and 7 for 9 from the foul line. With this win, the unranked TCU Horned Frogs are 14-4 on the year. With this loss, the 19th ranked LSU Tigers are now 16-5 on the season. Taking a look at what's going on with the 20th ranked team in the nation, the UConn Huskies would face off against the unranked DePaul Blue Demons. UConn beat DePaul 57-50. They won it by 7 after outscoring DePaul by 8 in the second half. On the winning end of this matchup, the 20th ranked Huskies were led in scoring by their starting guard, RJ Cole. Cole finished with 25 points and 5 rebounds in 34 minutes. He shot 9 for 17 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, and a perfect 5 for 5 from the foul line. With this win, the 20th ranked UConn Huskies are 15-4. They are 6-2 in the Big East. That is the 3rd best record in the conference. With this loss, the unranked DePaul Blue Demons are now 10-10. They are now 1-9 in the Big East as of right now. They have the 2nd worst record in the division. They sit right above Georgetown, who still has yet to win a conference game. Looking at what's going on with the 21st ranked team in the nation, the Xavier Musketeers would go to Nebraska to face off against the unranked Creighton Blue Jays. Xavier would beat Creighton 74-64. They won this matchup by 10 after outscoring Creighton by 27 in the second half to overcome their 17-point halftime deficit. On the winning end of this matchup, the 21st ranked Xavier Musketeers were led in scoring by their starting guard, Paul Scruggs, out of Indianapolis. He finished with 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists in 35 minutes. He shot 7 for 15 from the field. He made his only 3-pointer on the night, and he shot 3 for 6 from the foul line. With this win, the 21st ranked Xavier Musketeers are now 15-5. They are now 5-4 in the Big East as they are holding on to the 5th best record in the conference. With this loss, the unranked Creighton Blue Jays are now 12-7. They are now 4-4 in the Big East. Taking a look at what's going down with the 23rd ranked team in the nation, jumping back to the SEC Big 12 Challenge, the Iowa State Cyclones would host the Missouri Tigers, who were unranked. Iowa State would beat Mizzou 67-50. They won this matchup by 17 after outscoring Mizzou by 14 in the second half. On the winning end of this matchup, the 23rd ranked Cyclones were led in scoring by their starting guard, Isaiah Brockington. He finished with 15 points and 6 rebounds in 32 minutes. He shot 3 for 8 from the field. He made his only 3-pointer attempt on the night, and he made all 8 of his free throws. With this win, the 23rd ranked Iowa State Cyclones are 16-5. With this loss, the unranked Mizzou Tigers are now 8-12 on the year. Looking at the 24th ranked team in the nation, the Illinois Fighting Illini went to Chicago to face off against the Northwestern Wildcats, who were unranked. Illinois would beat Northwestern 59-56. They won it by 3 after outscoring Northwestern by 5 in the first half. On the winning end of this matchup, the Fighting Illini were led in scoring by their starting center, Kofi Cockburn. Cockburn finished with 22 points and 9 rebounds in 30 minutes. He shot 10 for 17 from the field and 2 for 4 from the foul line. With this win, the Illinois Fighting Illini are now 15-5. They are now 8-2 in the Big Ten. They are tied with Wisconsin for the best record in the conference. With this loss, the unranked Northwestern Wildcats are now 9-10. They are now 2-8 in the Big Ten. Taking a look at what went down with the 25th ranked team in the nation, the Davidson Wildcats hosted the unranked LaSalle Explorers. Davidson would beat LaSalle 77-69. They won this matchup by 8 after outscoring LaSalle by 7 in the first half. On the winning end of this matchup, the 25th ranked Wildcats were led in scoring by their starting forward, Luka Brajkovic out of Austria. He went on to finish with 22 points and 6 rebounds in 34 minutes. He shot 7 for 10 from the field, a perfect 2 for 2 from 3, and he shot 6 for 7 from the foul line. With this win, the 25th ranked Davidson Wildcats are now 17-3. They are now 7-1 in the Atlantic 10 Conference. They have the best record in the conference, even though they are one of 2 teams with only 1 loss in the conference. With this loss, the unranked LaSalle Explorers are 6-12. They are 1-7 in the Atlantic 10. That is the worst record in that conference. That's everything that's going on with college basketball from yesterday. And there are going to be some ranked matchups today going on in the Midwest. Taking a look at what's going on in the NFL, there are 4 teams left, and they are going to face off against one another in the conference championship round. As of right now, there are 4 teams left competing for Super Bowl 56. And after today, there will be only 2 teams left. If I had to guess right now, I would think that the Chiefs would beat the Bengals and the Rams would beat the 49ers. If I had to approximate it. But I will, of course, follow this up with a preview for the conference championship round. And then, of course, taking a look at what's going on in the NBA, looking at yesterday's game, starting off in New Orleans. The New Orleans Pelicans would host the Boston Celtics, and the Celtics would beat the Pelicans 107-97. The Celtics won this matchup by 10 after they outscored the Pelicans by 12 in the first quarter, by 18 in the first half. On the losing end of this matchup, the New Orleans Pelicans were led in scoring by their point guard off the bench, Jose Alvarado out of Georgia Tech. He would go on to finish with 19 points and 4 steals in 20 minutes. He shot 8 for 11 from the field and 3 for 4 from 3. On the winning end of this matchup, the Boston Celtics were led in scoring by their elite starting small forward, Jason Tatum. Tatum finished with 38 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals in 37 minutes. He shot 17 for 26 from the field and 4 for 13 from 3. Their starting shooting guard, Jaylen Brown, finished with 31 points in 35 minutes. He shot 11 for 20 from the field, 4 for 9 from 3, and 5 for 7 from the foul line. With this win, the Boston Celtics are now 26-25. With this loss, the New Orleans Pelicans are now 18-31. Taking a look at what went down in Dallas, the Mavericks hosted the Indiana Pacers. The Mavericks would beat the Pacers 132-135. They won this matchup by 27 after they outscored the Pacers by 15 in the second half, and they outscored the Pacers by 11 in the first quarter. On the losing end of this matchup, the Pacers were led in scoring by their point guard off the bench, Dwayne Washington Jr. out of Ohio State. Their rookie will go on to finish with 22 points in 25 minutes. He shot 9 for 17 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, and he made his only free throw attempt on the night. Their starting power forward and former All-Star Domantas Sabonis finished with 21 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists in 29 minutes. He shot 8 for 10 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, and 4 for 5 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the Dallas Mavericks were led in scoring by their elite starting point guard out of Slovenia, Luka Doncic. He finished with 30 points, 6 rebounds, 12 assists, and 2 blocks in 32 minutes. He shot 12 for 21 from the field, 4 for 9 from 3, and 2 for 7 from the foul line. Their small forward off the bench, Reggie Bullock, finished with 23 points in 24 minutes. He shot 8 for 11 from the field, 6 for 8 from 3, and he made his only free throw attempt of the night. And with this win, the Dallas Mavericks are now 29-21. With this loss, the Indiana Pacers are now 18-33 on the season. Taking a look at what went down in Philadelphia, the 76ers hosted the Sacramento Kings. The Sixers would end up beating the Kings 103-101. They won this matchup by 2 after they outscored the Kings by 13 in the second half. On the losing end of this matchup, the Sacramento Kings were led in scoring by their starting point guard, Tyrese Halliburton, out of Iowa State. He finished with 38 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals in 40 minutes. He shot 11 for 19 from the field, 5 for 9 from 3, and 11 for 12 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the Philadelphia 76ers were led in scoring by their elite starting center, Joel Embiid, out of Kansas. Embiid finished with 36 points, 12 12 rebounds, and 6 assists in 35 minutes. He shot 10 for 18 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, and 14 for 18 from the foul line. With this win, the Philadelphia 76ers are now 30-19, as they are yet another team to cross the 30-win threshold for the season. With this loss, the Sacramento Kings are now 18-33. Taking a look now at what went down in Miami, the Heat hosted the Toronto Raptors from up north. The Raptors would end up beating the Heat 124-120 after 3 overtimes. They outscored the Heat 24-20 over those overtime periods. On the losing end of this matchup, the hometown Miami Heat were led in scoring by their elite starting small forward out of Marquette, Jimmy Butler. Butler finished with 37 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and 5 turnovers, all in 52 minutes. He shot 14 for 26 from the field. He would go on to shoot 1 for 5 from 3 and 8 for 11 from the foul line. Their elite starting center, Bam Adebayo, would finish with 14 points, 16 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks, as well as 6 turnovers in 45 minutes. He shot 5 for 12 from the field. On the winning end of this matchup, the Toronto Raptors were led in scoring by their starting shooting guard out of Duke, Gary Trent Jr. He finished with 33 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 steals in 56 minutes. He shot 13 for 28 from the field, 5 for 15 from 3, and a perfect 2 for 2 from the foul line. Their starting small forward, Scotty Barnes, finished with 22 points, 9 rebounds in 56 minutes as he shot 7 for 13 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, and 5 for 6 from the foul line. Their starting small forward, OG Anunoby, finished with 20 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals in 56 minutes. He shot 9 for 21 from the field and 2 for 7 from 3. Their starting power forward, Pascal Siakam, would finish with 21 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, and 4 blocks in 57 minutes. He shot 7 for 18 from the field, and he would go on to shoot a perfect 6 for 6 from the foul line. With this win, the Toronto Raptors are now 24-23. With this loss, the Miami Heat are now 32-18. Taking a look at what went down in Memphis, the Grizzlies hosted the Washington Wizards, and then the Grizzlies would end up beating the Wizards 115-95. They won this matchup by 20 after they outscored the Wizards by a combined 22 points in the first half. On the losing end of this matchup, the Wizards were led in scoring by their starting small forward, Kyle Kuzma. Kuzma finished with 30 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, and 5 turnovers in 36 minutes. He shot 11 for 17 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3, and 4 for 6 from the foul line. Their elite starting shooting guard, Bradley Beal, finished with 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 12 assists in 35 minutes. He shot 2 for 11 from the field and 5 for 7 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the hometown Memphis Grizzlies were led in scoring by their elite starting point guard, Ja Morant. Morant finished with 34 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists in 34 minutes. He shot 15 for 27 from the field and 4 for 8 from 3. With this win, the Memphis Grizzlies are now 35-15. And with this loss, the Washington Wizards are now 23-26. But one before I go on, going back into the Grizzlies, their starting center, their starting center, Steven Adams, will go on to finish with 10 points and 15 rebounds, as well as 3 blocks in 29 minutes. He shot 4 for 7 from the field and a perfect 2 for 2 from the foul line. Taking a look, last but not least, at what went down in San Francisco, the Golden State Warriors would host the Brooklyn Nets. The Warriors would beat the Nets 110-106. They won this matchup by 4 after outscoring the Nets by 11 points in the first quarter and running with that momentum till the end of the game. On the losing end of this matchup, the Brooklyn Nets were led in scoring by their elite starting point guard out of Duke, Kyrie Irving. He finished with 32 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and 5 turnovers in 39 minutes. He shot 9 for 21 from the field, 3 for 8 from 3, and 11 for 12 from the foul line. Their starting point guard, Patty Mills, finished with 24 points and 2 steals, as well as 2 blocks in 38 minutes. He shot 8 for 21 from the field, 6 for 12 from 3, and a perfect 2 for 2 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the Golden State Warriors were led in scoring by their starting small forward and all-star starter, Andrew Wiggins. He finished with 24 points and 8 rebounds, as well as 2 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks in 37 minutes. He shot 10 for 18 from the field, 4 for 8 from three. Their goated starting point guard, Stephen Curry, finished with 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists, as well as 3 steals and 5 turnovers in 36 minutes. He shot 5 for 18 from the field, 3 for 10 from three, and a perfect 6 for 6 from the foul line. Their elite starting shooting guard, Klay Thompson, finished with 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists in 27 minutes. He shot 5 for 14 from the field, 2 for 8 from three, and a perfect 4 for 4 from the foul line. With this win, the Golden State Warriors are now 37-13. As they have the second best record in the NBA. They have officially won 74% of their games so far, as they're 50 games through. With this loss, the Brooklyn Nets are now 29-20. And with this loss, that is how the NBA is currently looking at the moment. Taking a look at yesterday's matchups in soccer, looking at the African Cup of Nations at the 2 quarterfinal matchups, starting off with the first one between Gambia and Cameroon. Cameroon would end up beating Gambia 2-0, as both of their goals would come in the 50th and 57th minutes from Karl Toko Ekambi. With this win, Cameroon will advance to the very next round of this matchup. And looking at the other matchup that took place yesterday, the Burkina Faso team would go on to beat Tunisia 1-0. Its lone goal came in the 48th minute to end the first half from Dango Ouattara. And with this win, Burkina Faso has eliminated Tunisia. And as of right now, there are 6 teams that are competing in the Africa Cup of Nations right now. Taking a look at the teams that are going to be facing off today in the African Cup of Nations, Egypt is going to be facing off against Morocco. And Senegal is going to be facing off against Equatorial Guinea. And the 2 matchups for the semifinal will be taking place on Wednesday and Thursday to see who will be facing off first for the third place matchup and to see who's going to be facing off for the final. And that's everything that I have for you with soccer today. But with that said, I want to thank everyone for listening to all 31 minutes of this piece. I do hope all is well. And once all of today's exhibitions and matchups are done, I will come back with another episode tomorrow on Monday, January 31st. I want to thank the ESPN, the NCAA, NFL, NBA, and FIFA websites for giving me all the facts and figures that I needed for this piece. I hope all is well, and I'll catch you with another episode tomorrow. Thanks for listening. I hope all is well, and I'll catch you with more tomorrow. I even have an episode after this to preview the conference championship round for the NFL. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you with another episode after this. Peace out.